Welcome to the NFL Scoreboard for week number 10 on the Sunday night. Sunday evening, November 10th, 2013. Good evening, everybody. I'm Peter Wiggins, and let's get to the highlights here. First of all, let's start out in San Diego, where the Denver Broncos, after building a big lead, are holding on to a 28-20 lead over the San Diego Chargers here.
From high above the Mercedes-Benz Superdome.
Okay, Broncos got things going with a Julius Thomas 74-yard pass from Peyton Manning, and Matt Perry's kick is good. 7-0 in favor of Broncos at 9:31. And after a pair of Nick Novak field goals, one from 26 and one from 48, the second quarter trimming the Broncos lead to 7-6. And then a pair of Peyton Manning to Demaryius Thomas touchdowns. First, 1 of 11 at 6:44 to make it 14-6, and then 70-yard pass at 18 seconds to make it 21-6. Broncos through halftime, and then another Peyton Manning to Demaryius Thomas. 34-yard pass from Peyton Manning. Matt Perry's kick was good, 28-6 in favor of the Broncos. And then Danny Woodhead, 70-yard pass from Philip Rivers, and Nick Novak's kick was good, 20-13. And then Ryan Matthews, 1-yard run at 10:44 of the fourth quarter as the Denver Broncos lead in the San Diego Chargers, 28-20. That game's being played in the fourth quarter here.
We ask for their deep thoughts. Al, what is
if the Broncos win, and they will have all.
the Cowboys, as we know,
We'll trail the Kansas City Chiefs by 1 game in the AFC West here. Okay, let's go out to San Francisco. Carolina Panthers clinging to us. 10-9 lead on the San Francisco 49ers here.
next week. It's interesting to look though at their record. They're 5-0 against teams that are under 500. 0-4 against teams.
And Phil Dawson provided only points for the 49ers. One from 52, another from 43, and
in the division,
second from 25 yards. So 2 field goals in the second quarter, 1 field goal in the first quarter for Phil Dawson and 49ers. A 9-0 49ers lead. Then DeAngelo Williams, a 27-yard run, and the Graham Gano kick is good as 9-7 49ers, and Gano at 53 yards. And the Carolina Panthers are leading the San Francisco 49ers 10-9 with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter here. Out in Arizona, Cardinals are leading the Houston Texans 20-17.
It's going to be totally different. We're going to run the football. We're going to pound it in here. I feel like I'm talking to one of my kids. I'm going,
And after first quarter, the 2 teams traded touchdowns. Matt Shaughnessy, 6-yard fumble return 6 seconds into the game. 7-0 Cardinals, and then Andre Johnson, a 70-yard pass from Case Keenum, tied at 7-7 apiece. And then Rob Hassler, 20-yard pass from Carson Palmer. Jay Fields' kick was good, 14-7 in the Cardinals. And then Brian Griffin, a 2-yard pass from Case Keenum, and was tied at 14-14 apiece. And then Randy Bullock, 4-yard field goals, good, 17-14. The Texans lead it through halftime. And then Jay Feely, a pair of field goals at 6-11, tied at 17-17, and with 6 seconds in the third quarter to make it 20-17 Cardinals. As the 20-17 Arizona Cardinals lead the Houston Texans through fourth quarter here. Okay, let's take a look at our scores from the early games. Seattle Seahawks and Atlanta Falcons in a rematch of last year's NFC Divisional Playoffs and won by the Falcons. Seattle doing the favor as they defeat the Atlanta Falcons 33-10 here to go to us 9-1 in the season. Russell Wilson, 19 for 26 to 27 yards and 2 touchdowns. Marshawn Lynch, 145 yards and 24 carries. And the Seahawks are 9-1, and Atlanta Falcons 1 year ago today, 8-1 on the season. Now, a 360 the wrong way as they are 2-7 in Baltimore. A thrill over the ages here. Final play in regulation time. Cincinnati scored on a Hail Mary tap from the Baltimore defender, and then it went into the hands of the Cincinnati Bengals. A.J. Green and 10 at 17-17 feet, but then The Baltimore Ravens would win it on overtime on a 46-yard field goal from Justin Tucker. Ravens beat the Bengals 20-17 in overtime. Joe Flacco 20 for 36 for 104 yards and 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. Andy Dalton 24 for 51, 2 TDs, 270 yards and 3 picks. And now, with a Baltimore win, now Cincinnati's lead in the AFC North is 2 games over Cleveland and Baltimore and Pittsburgh, 1 in Buffalo, 3-6. So the lead in AFC North for the Bengals is dwindled to 1 game here. And in Detroit Lions defeating the Chicago Bears 21-19. Matthew Stafford.
It has an available GDI V6 engine, a programmable powered liftgate, panoramic sunroof, and so much more.
He was 18 for 35 at 219 yards and 3 touchdowns and 1 interception here. Jay Cutler was injured and Josh McCown took over for the Bears, and then the Bears almost tied it after Brandon Marshall had an 11-yard pass from Josh McCown. It was 21-19 Lions, and the Bears go for the 2 and it failed.
Excuse me?
As the Detroit Lions get sole possession of first place in the NFC North with a 21-19 victory over the Chicago Bears. Matthew Stafford 18 for 35 at 219 yards and 6.3, averaging 3 touchdowns and 1 pick. Jay Cutler 20 for 40 for 250 yards and 1 touchdown, 1 pick, and Jay McCown 69 for 62 yards and 1 touchdown.
Farms Farmhouse blend coffee, so delicious at just 99 cents.
Detroit sole possession in first place in NFC North. 1 game over Chicago and Green Bay. Yeah.
But mostly, let's do soft.
And speaking of Green Bay, they lost the Philadelphia Eagles 27-13. Nick Foles, fresh from that 7 touchdown performance in Oakland last week.
Let's do this.
Picked up where he left off.
That's the power of the Home Depot. Right now, get whole home basic carpet installation for just 30.
He threw a 55-yard pass from Deshaun Jackson, 7F and Eagles, and then 2 field goals in each one by outside 25-yarder, 10F and Eagles, and Mason Crosby 26-yarder, 10-3 Eagles. And then the Eagles put up 17 points on the board. And Ryan Cooper got a 45-yard pass from Nick Foles at 11:21 and 10 seconds left in the third. 32-yard pass from Nick Foles as the Philadelphia Eagles defeat the Green Bay Packers 27-13. And Philadelphia stands at 5-5. And if Dallas loses to New Orleans tonight, then there will be a virtual tie for first place in NFC East between the boys and the Eagles there. St. Louis. Oh my! The Rams come into Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis and they shocked the Colts before a shocked crowd at Lucas Oil Stadium, 38-8. How about that St. Louis rookie by the name of
2 weeks ago, and
Tavon Austin? 3 touchdowns, 1 a 98-yard run punt return, and then a 50-yard pass from Kellen Clemens to make it 20-0.
This language was released.
St. Louis Rams, and then an 81-yard pass Austin from Clemens. Boy, Tavon Austin was a beast! 3 touchdowns, 1 a punt return, and 2 pass returns, 3 touchdowns. He is dazzling as the St. Louis
Well, Dan, in that same interview,
Rams blow out the Indianapolis Colts 38-8.
the week before Jonathan Martin left the Dolphins,
And despite the loss, the Indianapolis Colts
incognito, quote, I will
still have a 6-3
end quote. Now, incognito
record here, 2 games ahead of Tennessee.
did not take that seriously.
St. Louis 4-6.
Interview aired. David Cornwell.
Okay, out in Meadowlands, the New York Giants defeat the Oakland Raiders 24-20. Here.
Message that was typed by Martin. It was a photo with the message as a caption that was forwarded to incognito by Martin.
Mike, Roger Goodell has given independent investigator Ted Wells all the time he needs.
Eli Manning 12-22 for 104 yards and 1 touchdown, 1 pick.
On this practice with the Miami Dolphins.
Ralph Pryor 11-26 for 1 interception.
4 weeks. Now the big
New York Giants defeat the
is that Roger Goodell
Oakland Raiders 24-20. And in Pittsburgh Steelers
will be known
recovering from that 55-point
Feels like if you're going to shine a light on
that they gave up in New England, defeat the Buffalo Bills 23-10. Here,
of Richie and
Ben Roethlisberger. Here,
definite, but under the labor agreement, the maximum he can be suspended is 4 weeks. That means, as of December 1, after the Dolphins,
Ben Roethlisberger,
Dolphins either have
18 for 30 for 204 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
incognito beast.
And Sean Shushan a pair of field goals, and then Chris Gragg 2-yard pass by me, Jay Manuel. But too little too late as the Pittsburgh Steelers defeat the Buffalo Bills 23-10. And finally, Jacksonville Jaguars have their first win of the season. A 29-27 victory over Tennessee Titans to go to 1-8
where it's more likely that we'll know whether or not
on the season here.
or ends up playing for someone else. Now, for more on the situation, here's Bob in New Orleans.
Maurice Jones threw a 6-yard run, 7-0 Jacks. Charles Kobe had a pair of field goals, 1 from 10, nothing on 32-yard at 6:31 and at 10:47, 44-yard, 13-0 Jacks. And then Taylor Thompson, a 9-yard pass from Ryan
Well, it's an unfortunate situation. And being
Fitzpatrick, Rob Burns kicked 13-7 Jacks for 2. And then Jordan Thomas, a 5-yard run, and Charles Kobe kicked 27 Jacks. And then Burns a
discriminated against
39-yard field goal, 5:15 to third, and 12:50 at the fourth. Third, 20-13 favor to Jacks, and then Jacks make it 22-13 on the safety. And then Ryan Fitzpatrick, 4-yard run was 22-20 in favor of the Jacks. And then Ryan Fitzpatrick coughed up the ball and then led to Will Blackman, 21-yard fumble return, 29-20 Jacks. And then Delaney Walker, 14-yard pass from Ryan Fitzpatrick, and it was 29-27 in favor of the Jacksonville Jaguars over the Tennessee Titans. Got their first victory of the season. Okay, here we stand in the NFL.
No, that's a no. Couldn't we get past it?
See standings. San Francisco lost.
Black to black. White to white, either way. Couldn't we get past it?
San Francisco lost. They fall to 6-3. Carolina, with a win, goes to 6-3 here. And if New Orleans loses to Dallas, then Carolina and New Orleans be virtual tie for first place with the New Orleans Saints for first place in the NFC South. Here.
In a perfect world, my opinion,
Okay, here he stands, AFC East.
this story,
Patriots have a 2-game lead on the New York Jets for first place in the AFC East. AFC North, Cincinnati Bengals lead over the Browns and the Ravens. Trimmed to 2 games after the loss to the Ravens. Pittsburgh not far behind 3-6. AFC South, Indianapolis Colts have a 2-game lead on the Tennessee Titans for first place in the AFC South. And then the AFC West. And if Denver can hold on for the final 5-26, which they're leading 20-20, they will have a 1-game lead on against the Chiefs for first place in the AFC West.
Scott Pioli, of course, former executive with the Patriots and the Chiefs, and of course, Tony, former coach.
NFC East. Philadelphia just won. They have 5-5, and Dallas has 5-4. So if the Cowboys win, they'll have a 1-game lead over Philadelphia in the NFC East. And if they lose, tied for first place in NFC East at 5-5. NFC North. Detroit, sole possession in first place in NFC North for the moment with a 6-3 record. 1 game ahead of the Chicago Bears and Green Bay Packers for first place in NFC North. And then New Orleans have a half-game lead on Carolina in the first place. If New Orleans wins against Dallas tonight, they'll have 1 game lead. If they lose, virtual tie for first place in the NFC South. And then Seattle, a comfortable 3-game lead on the San Francisco 49ers for the NFC West. That's the great NFL scoreboard on this Sunday night, November 10th, 2013. I'm Pierce, and have a good night, and I'll see you next week. Good night.
You don't know everything.